Before we start, I want to kindly thank Ian for buying me a cuppa since the last video. It's always appreciated. And remember, anyone who buys a cuppa this month or next will enter into a competition draw to win a Saintharrison mug. Or there's an incentive for you. I was in home base the other day looking at paints, which is quite difficult when you're partially colourblind, when the bloke in front of me said, "Have you seen that film where people die and then get brought back?" I said, "I'm not watching Flatliners starring Kevin Bacon. It's rubbish." No, you misunderstand. I mean Braindead. Before we started making boring films where people walked around for 3 hours with a ring, Peter Jackson made some decent films, like The Frighteners and Braindead. Yes, back in 1992 in New Zealand, he wrote and directed this along with his missus. It's very gory, but it's also a lot of fun. Let's have a look. The film starts in 1959 with these two explorers coming across the cast of the Cannibal Holocaust on Skull Island. You know, Skull Island from King Kong, also made by Peter Jackson. After firing a machine gun, they manage to escape the aspiring doctors and rappers.
You've got the bait. There's some Dettol in the Jeep.
Now, that isn't Dettol. Could have been worse, could have had TCP, that shit stings. Oh, it looks like Mystery Ming's giving me the American version. Silly gook. The poisonous animal is then put on a cage and headed for New Zealand. I wonder if it grows up to be Jacinda Ardern. Nah, can't be that hideous.
Hi, Fakita.
Good morning, Roger.
That's a lot. Tell your dad I'll be round on Thursday with the Savloys.
Something tells me she wants a Savoy now. Paquita then looks at some tarot cards which tell her she's not going to end up with Roger, she's going to end up with a man, as displayed with a star. No idea. But she then gets disturbed by this weird looking annoying customer, who's a bit of a clumsy fucker. But then by pure coincidence, he's knocked those pens over into a star. I don't think she really had him in mind, but you can't argue with fate. She realises he's the one and starts walking towards him. He's not really into it and starts walking backwards. Watch out for that tram. After safely making it back home, Lionel gets told off by his mum for leaving the house in a mess, so he has to go out and do some chores when Paquita turns up with the food delivery. And they decide to go on a romantic date to the zoo. Let's hope that vicious animal from the start of the film isn't there. At the zoo, Lionel starts freaking out while looking in the water. Why? Well, he's reminded of the end of Friday the 13th. No, not really. He's reminded of the time he almost drowned at the beach. Stop trying to get sympathy. She's going to shag you anyway. That's a dodgy looking monkey. Let's see what the effects are like. Okay. Remember, this is 1992 and this didn't have a massive budget. 10 out of 10 for effort though.
Out of it, you vicious little shit! Reckon they're only found on one island, you know. Story goes, these great big rats come scuttling off the slave ships and raped all the little tree monkeys.
You can draw your own analogy from that little story. I shan't do it for you. You know why. They use this opportunity to get a little bit closer, only they're being watched by his over-possessive mum. I wouldn't put your arm near that cage. Back at the house, Lionel's tending to his mum. I wonder how her arm's getting on. It must be healed by now. Yeah, maybe not. Get some Savlon.
It's the WLWL.
Despite the fact her face is falling off, she still needs to keep up appearances because the Women's Institute are round to visit. The Women's Institute arrive and it's like having Harvey Price at the table.
Annual meeting. Annual meeting.
Surely it can't get worse than this. Where's Paquita's dog?
Oh, Fernando! Your mother ate my dog!
Not all of it.
Well, at least it didn't get hit by a car. Even at this point, Paquita still wants to be with Lionel. Ah, young love.
Your mother's dead, Lionel.
I mean, she's been dead for the last 30 minutes. But anyway, watch out for the mum.
He loved you very much.
Nice. Why don't you go and see if there's any Nazi doctors about? Oh, you have.
What do you think I am? A goddamn doctor? I don't sound sedatives. Tranquilizers. I do have. Do you understand? I can't snap.
You can always rely on them to provide a solution. He's now gone to see his cards being read and find out if they can reveal anything.
Death surrounds him. There will be torment and suffering.
Well, that's what anyone likes to hear. Good job she's given him this to protect him. Elizabeth Duke, page 16, item 3. Now it's his mum's funeral, and he needs to give her an injection to keep her down just to get it through. I can't see this really going very well.
Our dear ones depart, and the Lord Jesus Christ shall be. Resurrected.
Later that evening, Lionel goes down to the graveyard and gets beaten up by a group of people who think he's grave robbing. This isn't going to end well either.
It's my mother you're pissing on.
After being reawoken by liver-filtered Castlemaine 4X, the mum makes a return. Dion, is that you again? It's a good job Father Ted has a white collar and a black belt.
Intervention. I kick ass for the Lord.
And that's how the Lord has repaid you. Amen. Lionel then formed some kind of retard containment unit by bringing everyone back to his house. Everyone that's infected, that is. Imagine living there. Imagine living around this. It looks like a team meeting at Hope Not Hate.
How's it going, Lionel? Come on, mate. I'm dying for a slash. I've got a urinary infection.
Heidi High's Paul Shane turns up, and this is where things get really grim and lead us to the end of this film. But not before he has to take the mutant baby out for a walk. Words can't explain it, so you just have to watch it. I know what you're thinking, it is still better than the Lord of the Rings trilogy. As with all these films, a plot contrivance has meant a load of people have turned up to the house for a party with Paul McShane. This means they're all going to get affected. And Paquita discovers his house of horrors. I wonder if she still fancies him.
You must destroy them.
I can't. No, Mum.
That thing is not your mother.
I'm sure that's been said by many people about their in-laws. And after an accident with some amyl nitrate, things kick off. Watch out for that light bulb. At this point, only a lawnmower will do. Watch out for the intestine. At this point, Lionel's mum turns into a beast, even more than she has already, and then starts chasing him and Paquita through the house. That's it, stay on the roof. You'll be safe up there. Oh, well, maybe not.
Will ever love you like your mother.
Eventually, they escape, just as the house is about to blow up. Like all these horror films seem to end with the house blowing up and everyone getting out just in time. Just in time to have a romantic kiss as the film ends. Bearing in mind, the only reason all this happened is because she fancied him and they wanted to go to the zoo. What's the moral of the story? Don't go to zoos. Braindead is a classic for a reason, because it's extremely gory, but it's extremely funny as well. It's definitely got that kind of British/Australian sense of humour, even though it's made in New Zealand, but let's face it, we're all the same. The film is incredibly bloody, and I didn't show you 10% of it. You need to go and seek that out for yourself so you can enjoy it. So, have a few drinks, get some people round, and enjoy Braindead. Until next time, ta-ta for now.
You're a half-wit.
If you enjoyed this video or thought it's slightly less shit than Peter Jackson's newer films, you can always buy us a cuppa on Ko-fi. Thank you in advance if you do.